So news broke earlier today that Shannon Sharpe was being accused of sexual assault through a civil case by Jane Doe, and he was being sued for $50 million. The lawyer who's representing the Jane Doe was Tony Buzbee. Tony Buzbee is the lawyer for the Deshaun Watson case with the masseuses, where there was a ton of settlements, and Deshaun was suspended by the NFL. Later, got the big contract from the Browns, which turned to be disastrous for the Browns. Fast forward though, Tony Buzbee late last year filed a similar case against Diddy and Jay-Z. The woman withdrew her claim after a while, and Jay-Z is now suing Tony Buzbee for defamation. So that's what's going on. So the name Tony Buzbee, even though with Deshaun it was like Tony Buzbee and all his stuff, the Jay-Z case has turned on Buzbee, where people don't know if Buzbee is really a reputable lawyer. So now we got Shannon Sharpe. He has this case against him, and his lawyers for Shannon Sharpe are disputing this. Shannon Sharpe has released a statement denying all the allegations recently made against him regarding the sexual assault. And they released text messages between the woman to Shannon Sharpe. The woman said there was assault from 2024 to 2025. And they released text messages. And one of the things the woman said was, quote, "I want to put my tongue in your a-hole, then marry you." It's like, oh, Unc's a little freaky. But there's other text messages where she said she wanted him to put a black baby inside of her. Oh yeah, there's a lot of stuff between him. They named who the woman is. I won't, but they say the woman is no longer Jane Doe. They named who the woman is. And I guess Shannon had broke up with her in January 2nd, 2025. And the woman in turn recorded them having sex. And she edited the tape to make the scene like the consensual sexual encounter was not consensual. And she was trying to blackmail Shannon for like $25,000 or something like that. And Shannon said no. And now, many months later, we get this lawsuit. So one of the three things is going to happen here. Now, Shannon says he's going to fight this. So either A, we keep fighting this and we go to court over this. B, there's a settlement, which would be damaging to Shannon if there was a settlement. Or C, it gets tossed out. And so it's either going to go the Deshaun Watson way or it's going to go the Jay-Z way, where the woman might end up dropping the case, especially if there's really no proof of what she's saying. And I wonder if that's the case and that does happen, will Shannon Sharpe do the same thing what Jay-Z is doing if that happens and sue Tony Buzbee? Because Tony Buzbee seems like an ambulance chaser. And again, we don't know this lady. I don't know what's going on. Shannon might be guilty. He might be innocent. I don't know. But when we look at the two cases, the Deshaun Watson case, he got over, got money for the women, got money for himself. We get the Jay-Z Diddy case. She dropped the case. There was no settlement, no anything. There was no proof. So you almost look at Tony Buzbee and it's like, well, what type of lawyer are you? And if he keeps on doing these types of cases, will Tony Buzbee end up getting disbarred? Is he really doing what's proper? Is he doing what he needs to do as a lawyer, or is he just doing this to make money? So we'll see on that end. From Shannon Sharpe's end, let's say this woman is trying to extort money from him. His reputation is already a bit damaged. If you were not a fan of Shannon Sharpe and you don't like Shannon Sharpe, you're going to believe like, oh, well, I told you this is who Shannon Sharpe is. I never liked Shannon Sharpe. I'm not surprised that Shannon Sharpe did this type of thing, allegedly. And also for Shannon, he has to make sure that this is a one-off case. That is not like Deshaun, where there's woman after woman after woman saying the same thing. That is like just an isolated incident from this woman. So again, if you're not a fan of Shannon Sharpe, you don't like Shannon Sharpe, you feel like this could be true. If you're a person, or no matter if you like Shannon or not Shannon, but you observe what Tony Buzbee has been up to the past few years, you're giving Shannon the benefit of the doubt. You say, I've seen Buzbee's reputation. We have to see what's going to happen here, especially since Shannon actually releasing these text messages. And I think in years past, when men were caught into this situation, where there was embarrassing text messages or things that they don't want to get out, I think a lot of these guys did settle. I think if this was maybe 10 years ago, I think Shannon Sharpe would have settled with his ex-girlfriend and make sure none of this stuff got out, because it's very embarrassing. I mean, because usually what you say, text between a man and a woman, or a woman and a man with a woman, like if it's very graphic, you kind of keep that in house and you don't want people to see you in a certain light. I don't think Shannon cares at this point. I think he wants to prove his innocence. So from that point of view, Shannon's not. I'm sure if they keep on going, they'll probably release more text messages. And if they go to court, they have to read all these text messages, and people will look at Shannon from a different light, especially from a sexual standpoint. It's like, whoa. But if this is the only way you can prove your innocence, you got to put that aside. Say, hey man, I'm trying to prove my innocence. So if y'all think I'm freaky as hell, this is why I got to show y'all to prove my innocence. Now the thing he has to worry about is like ESPN. Like ESPN, what are they going to do? Especially on First Take with Molly Quorum. Now Shannon might be able to tell Molly, like, hey Molly, I didn't do all this stuff is false. I didn't do anything. But Molly being Molly, like Molly might say, like, I don't feel comfortable Shannon co-hosting the show because I don't know what's true or what's not. And ESPN might say, Shannon, we might take you off First Take for a while until this thing is resolved. That could happen. That's what happened to Michael Irvin. Like Michael Irvin was accused of something at a hotel. I think a woman said that he was lewd to her, and she filed a case against him. The NFL Network just out and out just fired Michael Irvin, and it proved that case was tossed out or proven to be false. Michael Irvin ended up suing the hotel, and he won because it was defamation. It was false allegations. And then Michael Irvin, I don't think, did he pop back on the NFL Network? I think he did, and pop up on NFL Network later on. But still, it's just they just tossed him out because there was like, we don't believe you. You're gone. Where there was like no proof. So we have to see what Shannon Sharpe's relationship is going to be with ESPN moving forward right now, because they might say, hey man, we believe you. At the same time, we can't have you on First Take until this stuff is resolved. So we're gonna have to see what's gonna happen with that. As far as that $100 million deal, and the funny thing is, all this stuff happens. It wasn't like last week. Last week there was talk about Shannon Sharpe signing a new $100 million deal with his podcast, or he could sign a $100 million deal. So what happens when Shannon was with Fox, when he left Undisputed, he got the rights of Club Shay because Club Shay was on the Fox Sports website, because Shannon started that during the pandemic. And this is before the whole Cat Williams thing. So when he left Fox, he was able to take Club Shay with him. He took Club Shay to Colin Cowherd. Colin Cowherd has his Volume network. Just like Charlemagne has his network of podcasts, Colin Cowherd has the same thing. And Shannon joined Cowherd. Again, way before the Cat Williams stuff. And Club Shay blew up. And now that deal is up. And I don't know if he's going to resign for Cowherd, because I don't know if Cowherd has that type of money to sign Shannon. But we'll see. So what does this do moving forward with Shannon Sharpe's Club Shay and Nightcap and all that stuff? Will some of these deals be put on hold just because these people want to see what's going to happen with Shannon Sharpe? Like, true or not, like right now, Shannon Sharpe's life is basically on hold until he's either proven to have done this, or he's actually proven not to have done this. Either it's extortion, or there's some serious issues there. So what do you guys think? What do you think about Unc getting in all this trouble? Is it coincidence that all this stuff happened just as he's about to sign this $100 million deal? Should Unc be careful of the people that he invites into his bedroom? And listen, man. And again, if it is sexual assault, if someone is really this abusive to you, call the police. Tell people what's going on. Document everything. If these things are going on, write this stuff down. Go to the police. Go to counselors. Like, tell people what's going on so you have a track record of what's going on. But if it's about money, that's a slap in the face for women and men and kids who might deal with this on a daily basis.